BreeCS timesheet. So within BreeCS there is a built-in timesheet and hours are calculated based upon the raw events. Within Net2 you do not need to program a reader as clocking in or clocking out. You simply select the door in question, as in the ACU, select the reader, select token only and either Paxton reader, or you can change it to Wigan 26-bit token only if you're using biometrics. If you're using a Net2 Plus, which you should be, then a new option will appear here for turnstile mode. This is an old Net2 Classic, so it doesn't appear on this specific one. But you would normally select with a Net2 Plus turnstile mode. That means when you clock in, reader 1, relay 1 gets clicked, and when you clock out, reader 2, relay 2 gets clicked, allowing bidirectional access control and time and attendance within BreeCS using just one ACU per turnstile. In addition to that, within BreeCS, if you go to the Advanced View, Options menu, then select ACU clock in out points, you can select either all ACUs or clock in and out, which is how it comes out in the box on a fresh install, or only specific ACUs. This is useful if you've got a row of turnstiles that go from the street to the site, and then maybe a couple of office doors that have got proximity or even biometrics. You don't want the office doors or the store or whatever you've got to clock people in and out in the respective timesheet. So you can exclude those from the list and it will just do the turnstiles. You'll still be on site for all the other reports and the rest of it. You still get the raw events come through. It's just for the BreeCS timesheet, so you don't calculate hours when someone goes through a door and doesn't automatically clock someone in or out, for example. So if we click timesheet, when it opens, by default it goes to all users for the current day. The list of users are in the middle. It gives you their name, their position, the date, the day, who they work for, their trade, their first in, their last out, the hours that they worked, and any breaks stroke off-site. Meaning if someone clocked in at 8 AM, then left for lunch between 12 and 1, then clocked out at the end of the day at 5, 8 AM to 5 PM will be collectively 9 hours. But it will state 8 hours worked, and the other hour was having a break or off-site. At the top of the screen, we get directors through visitors, how many users belong to each of those categories, and how many hours collectively for each of those categories. Top right hand corner gives you the collective hours for all users in the list and how you're sorting the data. You can click each of the column headers to sort the data either in an ascending or descending order. So if I wanted to sort by username or by their in time or their out time, clicking that header will sort that data further. And however you see the data on screen is how it will be printed or exported into CSV or HTML. If the site has cloud features, you can also email any of the reports that you're viewing by simply clicking send email, typing in an email address and clicking OK. You don't need to set up any SMTP servers, everything is handled by BreeCS / BreeCS Cloud. If I want to see more information about a specific person, I can either select from the left hand side tree view the company in total, or I can drill down to a single person within that company. In addition, if I'm viewing all users or a specific company, I can then double click on a person in that name and it will automatically take me straight to that person within that company. Down the bottom we have a list of all of the contractors, how many users and how many hours were worked. When you're viewing this, it also includes 0 users with 0 hours, just so you can check, company A, B, C, D, was there any people on site for the given date period and how many hours that they worked collectively. But when you export the reports, it only includes physical users, as in 1 or more. The same applies for trade as well. So you can see, regardless of who the person works for, if they've got electrician, for example, it will say there were 10 electricians, collectively they worked this many hours for the given date period, regardless of who they work for. So this is extremely useful If you've got targets to meet, so for example, we should have at least 10 people from company A, or we should have at least 10 electricians on site, plumbers, whatever the case may be. You can also change the date range here. Yesterday, today, a week, a month, a year. I can select a week. I can select a month. I can select a specific point in time. So for example, we're company viewing today. I could view a month, either in summary view, which just gives me the username, position, who they work for, their trade, and how many hours they've worked for that period. Or detailed, to get more information about the ins and outs, first in, last out, hours worked and breaks off site. If I want to, I can also view a week view. This will give me Monday through Sunday, and it will highlight 0 hours in red and hours that are worked in green. That can be turned on or off from the menu at the top. I can also view fatigue users. So if you've got, limits where users can only work 12 hours per day, for example, then I can go to fatigue week here. Then I can select how many hours or above how many hours is classed as fatigue. Then I can select the week and the year. So let's see if we can find some data in the past. So in this example, we can see the greys are greyed out in the respect that it's good, and the red being you've worked over those hours, so you'd be classed as fatigue. That covers BreeCS Timesheet.